we got? You're going to know we're going to talk about Felix domesticus. When you look at the cat, Mr. Gilmore, you understand the cat says, I want you to check my anatomy out from the standpoint it's easy for you to dissect him than it is for you to do a cadaver. Now you'll notice a lot of his musculature is pretty similar to ours, but then there's going to be some differences also. When you start looking at it, Mr. Gilmore, you'll notice, here's what we got. Here's his cat. He's lying what? Face down, that's what? Prone, Mr. Gilmore. You'll notice we get to look at musculature here. So here's what we're going to do. We find this muscle, what's his name? Spinal trapezius. This muscle connects to this muscle, Mr. Gilmore. From spinal trapezius goes what? Spinal deltoid. Now, Mr. Gilmore, what's this fellow right here? His name is acromio trapezius. So that makes this muscle here acromio deltoid. Mr. Gilmore, what's this muscle right here?
Clavotrapezius.
Clavotrapezius, that makes this clavodeltoid. So, Mr. Gilmore, in order, it will be spinal trapezius, spinal deltoid. Acromiotrapezius, acromiodeltoid. Clavotrapezius, clavodeltoid, in that order. Mr. Gilmore, this long muscle that's hanging there, we know his name is latissimus dorsi. If that much is true, Mr. Gilmore, we need to now look at this throat. Now, I'm going to try this with the arrow, so hopefully that'll be better. Here's what I got. I got this large muscle right here, and I got this large muscle right here, Mr. Gilmore. Those large muscles, those are called what? Masters. If those are masters, I got these cute little muscles right here, Mr. Gilmore, that's going to follow the angle of the mandible. That muscle, Mr. Gilmore, is going to be digastric. But Mr. Gilmore, I got some muscle that go underneath there, right there. The fibers go straight across. His name is mylohyoid. Do it again, Mr. Gilmore. Mylohyoid. If that's mylohyoid, Mr. Gilmore, now I lost my arrow. I hate that. Now, Mr. Gilmore, I need you to tell me, what's this little small fellow right here? His name is stylohyoid. Stylohyoid. Mr. Gilmore, if that's stylohyoid, I want you to walk me through if I came from the sternum to the hyoid. We're going to call him sternohyoid. Sternohyoid. Now, Mr. Gilmore, if that's sternohyoid, there's a muscle there. There's one going to the side, and there's another one that's more lateral. The one that's more medium, Mr. Gilmore, his name is going to be what? Sternomastoid. 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 Mr. Gilmore, then that makes this clitomastoid. Clitomastoid. Mr. Gilmore, just tell me what the one is that's in the middle that don't move. It's right there in the middle. His name is cricothyroid. Don't worry, I got something that's for deep girl. Mr. Gilmore, hold up. You got something reflected here. The one that's reflected, his name is mylohyoid. So now that he's reflected, Mr. Gilmore, there's a muscle that's going to go straight up toward the midline. It's going to actually go toward the tongue. His name is geniohyoid. Mr. Gilmore, there's one that's going to the side here where the nerve goes inside of. His name is hyoglossus. Okay, I got that, Mr. Gilmore. Tell me what this is, because this is the part that I really ain't been getting in lab. So here's what we got. We got this mylohyoid reflected. So I got a muscle that goes straight up, Mr. Gilmore, goes toward the tongue. His name is geniohyoid. Mr. Gilmore, there's this white little nerve that's going to another one. His name, he's going to the side. His name is what? Hyoglossus. Do it again, Mr. Gilmore. Hyoglossus. But Mr. Gilmore, hold up now. I see this little muscle right here going from the sternum to the hyoid, so we call him sternohyoid. If that's sternohyoid, Mr. Gilmore, over here, that sternohyoid has been cut. Well, why did you cut it, Mr. Gilmore? I needed to cut and reflect sternohyoid so I can see right underneath him. Well, Mr. Gilmore, I go from the sternum, but I stop at the thyroid. So we're going to call him sternothyroid. So, Mr. Gilmore, there's one that starts at the thyroid and goes to the hyoid. So we're going to call him thyrohyoid. Do that again, Mr. Gilmore. I didn't really catch that. There's one that goes from the sternum to the hyoid. We call him sternohyoid. But Mr. Gilmore, there's the one that goes from the sternum to the thyroid. He stops. So we call him sternothyroid. But Mr. Gilmore, there's one that starts at the thyroid and goes to the hyoid. We call him thyrohyoid. But Mr. Gilmore, there's one in place that's localized, that doesn't move. His name is cricothyroid. thyroid. That's cricothyroid. What is this little slinky-like thing right here that has 20 cartilaginous rings? His name is trachea. Trachea. Remember, if this is the trachea, what's right above it, Mr. Gilmore? The larynx. That's the vocal bar. That's why I make my sound, Mr. Gilmore. All right, it sounds good. Here's a side view that shows us exactly what we just saw, Mr. Gilmore. Here's the cute one that's been cut. What's the name that's been cut? Sternohyoid. If there's sternohyoid, then this fellow right here is sternothyroid. This one right here is spirohyoid, Mr. Gilmore. This one has to be cricothyroid. Mr. Gilmore, these pictures are good. You need to let me have these. Can't do it. All right, this is a good one right here. Stay with me real quick. We're going to try to get everything on here. First lab group is checking this out, so then I'm going to walk you through it from the back to the front. All right, you follow me? Here's what I got. You found out, Mr. Gilmore, when we did this, there was this long muscle that goes up here. His name is longissimus. If this is longissimus, Mr. Gilmore, there's one right here, and he hides under these muscles. This one that hides under this muscle, Mr. Gilmore. If I reflect this back, I'm going to see this muscle right here. His name is iliocostalis. I can't see him because he hides. Iliocostalis. Mr. Gilmore, there's this another muscle right here. What's his name? Spinalis dorsi. Spinalis dorsi. Mr. Gilmore, I see somebody at the door. It ain't my fault. Look, spinalis dorsi, Mr. Gilmore, is right here. This fellow right here is longissimus, and I know the one that's hiding under here is iliocostalis. Mr. Gilmore, what's this muscle that's hiding iliocostalis? His name is serratus posterior. But Mr. Gilmore, what happens in between the ribs? We call it intercostalis. Intercostalis. Mr. Gilmore, I need you to walk me through the arm. Here's what we got. I got this fellow right here, Mr. Gilmore. His name is called acromiotrapezius. Mr. Gilmore, he's hiding a muscle under the acromiotrapezius, right above the spine of the scapula. His name is supraspinatus. Below the spine, infraspinatus. Below that, teres major. Underneath the scapula, subscapularis. Well, Mr. Gilmore, I need you to walk me through these muscles right here that retract the scapula. One goes to the inferior border of the scapula. His name is rhomboideus major. Then Mr. Gilmore, one goes to the medial border of the scapula. Rhomboideus minor. But Mr. Gilmore, there's one that goes all the way toward the head. We call him rhomboideus capitis or occipital scapularis. So Mr. Gilmore, I kind of got that. So I want you to take me slow now. Here's what I got to do. I just made that real quick in office. I got to do this now. We're going to switch gears. Give me 1 second. Somebody was rattling the door. I need a couple babies.